Welcome back to another TSTerra Plays Tera video. In today's video, I'll be going over all information about Brawler that I can. Note, in my guides, these are not top speed running guides for any class guides, but just basic guides of how to play the class and some stats. So, the first thing with Brawler is you don't want to build any crit, really. For the most part, you can build all power, jewelry, and you don't have to worry too much about crit at all. As you can see, I'm running Swift Burst for extra attack speed, but you can swap them out for power if you'd like. It is optional. And if you at any point want to pause the video to check out the rolls, feel free to, but for the most part, everything on the jewelry is power etching, power rolls, crit power, and the only things that I run crit and power for is the brooch and belt. If you haven't noticed about the game, anytime people say with crit and power the difference is, well, 2 crit equals 1 power. So if you're running 2 power versus 6 crit, personally not the best idea. Pretty standard rolls for the boots and gloves, as you can see on screen, as well as for the chest. Now, do know you want to consider a few different rolls for the top rolls of the chest, and those rolls would be either jackhammer damage or cooldown to roundhouse kick. Now, personally, I prefer the cooldown to roundhouse, that's just me, but you can also run damage of jackhammer. The next big thing is going over your weapon rolls, and for the most part, again, pretty standard. You want to go with all the yellow. I prefer running crit power, and I also prefer running cooldown, but you can run double enrage. The main thing with running double enrage is ideally if the boss dies within an enrage cycle, run double enrage. If it's a longer fight, double cooldown's better. And here are the glyphs you will want to consider. This is everything I run. Like I said, at any point, feel free to pause the video if you're confused about, oh wait, what glyph was that? Also, you can pause the video at any of the crystals. I'm not going to go in direct about the crystals, but for the most part, just read the crystals. It's pretty straightforward. If you're a tank and you're losing aggro and you're under geared, do consider putting a threatening crystal in, as it will help you hold aggro over people that have much more gear than you. So that's the basics for what roles you want to consider and your glyph set as well. Next is the startup. I start with Mountain Rage into Divine Wrath for my first choices. I then Jackhammer to get the debuff on the boss. I Shout if need be, and Enrage. With Divine Wrath, you shouldn't need to aggro the boss. The other thing is you want to get Rhythmic Blows off as well as soon as you can. So as you see in the video, I try to get all this off. The second startup is instead of Divine Wrath in, let your Rage bar build up a bit, and we're going to Bull Rush in instead. This is another option. Some people do not like doing this method. I personally don't. Some people are very fond of it. But you go right into Jackhammer, Shout and Enrage, and then Rhythmic Blows combination in. You want to throw some skills in between Rhythmic Blows and keep going because it just puts all your skills on a faster cooldown. Next is the basic rotation. This is, again, with the Rhythmic Blows startup, but I'm just going to burn through it. And now I go into Roundhouse, into Dashing, into Jackhammer, and then 1 inch into Haymaker. This allows me to get the most amount of damage within all my links and power links and everything. In between, if I need more time, I'll throw a counter punch in, a high kick into flying kick, and potentially a power driver. This is the basics of Brawler. For the most part, you always want to make sure you're getting your power links off, and use these other skills only as fill if you need to, and that's about it. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask in the comments section. I'll be more than glad to answer everything. And hope you enjoyed, and as always, see you around in Aboria, gamers.